Cheers, welcome. This is a bonus tarot oracle reading for the total lunar eclipse on August 28th. It's a full moon in the sign of Pisces. And Gemini, you are the star of this astrological insight. The underlying energy for this reading is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is one of four queens in the minor arcana, and she's representing the element of earth. She is known for her resourcefulness. She can make something out of nothing, and she's well respected for that. She also prefers quality over quantity. She comes from old money, so she's not flashy with her money like new wealth. She doesn't feel the need to impress anyone, or she uses money as the tool that it is. And the pentacles in tarot do represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. Now, they are represented by this coin because this is about the element of earth. And of course, we need money to be able to function on earth. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. The Queen of Pentacles, the question I always ask when she comes up is, why does she have to be so resourceful when she comes from generational wealth? This is a legacy that's handed down from one generation to the next. So I want to know. I mean, it's good she can be resourceful, but I want to know why she has to be resourceful. And we have the underlying, or the energy for the moon energy, which is in the sign of Pisces. This is what's going on around 3 days before and 3 days after the moon in particular. But you're going to feel this energy with the full moon for, maybe longer than that. And because there's an eclipse on this full moon, that is something that happens over about a 6-month period. So just be aware, it's kind of like in the background, but you probably don't notice it that much unless something happens to bring it to the surface. We do have the 10 of Swords here. So the 10 of Swords, clearly there's an issue here. The swords represent air. And that is representing your thoughts. The swords are your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And you've been stabbed in the back 10 times and left for unalive here. So this is an energy of sabotage of some sort. Now, this is talking at the same time the end of a cycle. And we also have a 10 here as well. So that's an end of this cycle. So there is hope here. What's going on is this can actually, you see the right hand here is in the form of a blessing. This is the same hand formation that the Hierophant, who's responsible for bringing justice down to the 3D, he makes that formation with his hand as well, with his right hand. And so this is talking about light at the end of the tunnel. This energy can represent like well over a decade of being in this energy. Sometimes it can represent like one person, like annually, putting you in this position. And it can also represent like 10 different people or even 10 groups of people. And the energy is talking also, like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and there could be a blessing in disguise because this cycle is coming to an end. And this card actually is talking about fulfilling life at the end of like the rainbow comes out after the storm. So this is the promise of something better to come. And so you might be in a kind of a rough patch at this point, or you might have just started noticing that the sun is starting to come out after a big storm. And this could be lasting, as I said, for a good decade. But this energy is a cycle coming to an end and rebirth of a new cycle. And I love that this is right after it. This is talking about all the love that you want in the world. So this is the promise of that. And we have 10 cups here. Cups in tarot represent romantic love a lot of the time, but in this case also love of anyone or anything, and even yourself as well. This can talk about something you love to do or something you love to be. You can see we have a happy couple here with the children, and they're in a neighborhood that they love to be in, and they have the career that is very meaningful, and maybe the clients love them and they love their clients, and you know, their peers, all of that. So this is talking about a fulfilling lifestyle after having this kind of energy. And then we have the Two of Wands. Now this is someone who is standing on at the top of on the turret of their castle, and they're overlooking their domain, and they have the world in their hands, but they come from a small village. So this is saying that quite often this energy, it represents the element of fire, and the wands are made of wood, and wood fuels fire to take passionate action. So I feel that this is saying that this is the action you take to move out of this energy into this energy, and perhaps get back the wealth that you were meant to have by the looks of things here. Now, he's standing here at the turret, and this wand here could represent like an entrepreneur energy, like possibly having managed to plant a successful business where he is, but perhaps there's not, because it's a smaller center, there's not enough clients, or, you know, he needs to expand his business. And we can see that the horizon in the distance there is, there's water in between. Quite often this can talk about overseas energy, collaborating with people overseas. Now he's got his hand on this one wand, and this is what about the action he's thinking about, and this is the action that he's already accomplished. Big fish in a little pond syndrome is basically what we have here. So sometimes this is talking about bringing, you know, making decisions about a business to make it global or international, or sometimes this can talk about maybe having found that special someone and it's time to start a family and expand in that way. So let's see what else is going on here. When there's a full moon like this, and this one is in Pisces, we also have an opposing energy from the sun. And the sun sheds light on anything hidden. The moon is hidden secrets, illusions, energy that you need to definitely put this to an end and move forward in a stronger way. And so the energy coming in at the bottom here, we're talking about, I'm just going to move this up to make sure you can see the whole thing. This is talking about the energy of the sun opposing the Pisces energy. And this is in Virgo. So Virgo is across the wheel from the Pisces energy in the horoscope, and has a huge effect on the energy of that moon. And so we have the Hermit here. So the Hermit is talking about, if you don't know what action to take to get up from this and get this, this is saying the Hermit climbs a mountain and isolates himself. He's at the top of the mountain, and he doesn't want anyone to bother him. He knows that the people that are doing this are too lazy to climb a mountain. So he's up there, and he's communing with God through meditation and prayer. And when his lantern becomes full of the light of the North Star, which is talking about your North Node energy, following your path, this energy then is reflected on his rod, and it becomes bright. And that's when the Hermit knows, okay, it's time to come down the mountain with what I learned from the Most High and take action from that angle. And then look at this. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. So the Nine of Pentacles is one away from the total fulfillment. So this is huge, a beautiful change here in the Pentacle energy. Now, Pentacles are health, wealth, and happiness, as I said. And this is one away from 10. So the Nine of Pentacles always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor / genius. And this is talking about, the Empress energy, or the pre-Empress energy. And the pre-Empress energy is saying that you've come a long way, baby. And it's saying that she has her hand on 6 pentacles, and then she has 3 here. Now, Nikola Tesla would always say, if you knew the beauty of the 3, 6, 9, you would have the key to the universe. And I feel that he was talking about a ratio. You know, she understands that she has to be careful how much time, money, energy she invests in any given project or person, situation. And she wants to have a fair exchange of energy. And so she has an anticipated return. And if it doesn't reach that, then she's going to take a look and see whether it's worth continuing with that project person, etc. And so she always makes sure that she keeps 2/3 of what she has to make sure that she can pay her bills, that she can, both in business and meet all her requirements, for her home and family, as well as having some left over in case there's an emergency. And then the rest she plays with a little bit. So maybe one goes to charity, another one is representing the energy of maybe making a more risky investment that will really pay off if it works out. And if it doesn't, it's not going to prohibit her from being able to meet her needs here. And this one also could be talking about maybe saving up for a vacation, a new vehicle, whatever that is. Now, there definitely has been disappointment in the past. As I said, this energy can be romantic, but quite often it can just be about friends, family, business partners, whatever. If this is romantic, this quite often can represent the energy of, 3 instead of 2. So this couple, there's a third party energy here. And this energy is talking about, there being someone else in the relationship. And sometimes this cup can even represent a fourth cup of love, which is the most beautiful gift of all, a baby. But if it's not part of the couple and it's more between the third party energy and one of the people in the couple, then it takes on a disappointing nature for the other person for sure. And this is talking also about sometimes giving someone 3 chances already, and now they have they're asking for a 4th chance, and you're like, no way, 3 strikes and you are out. I am not going to go through another round with you. It's that type of energy. And so this could be someone in a romantic relationship. It could be regarding business, it could be friends, family, whoever this is, they've disappointed you one time too many. And then there can also be a situation where maybe you've done your best to launch a business or whatever it is that you love to do or love to be, and it just hasn't worked out. Or you've had 3 relationships already that you've poured your heart into, and it has ended up in a disappointing way. So this is talking about, you could sit under that tree for the rest of your life, but the universe and the Most High are offering you a gift of a 4th cup here, which is saying there could be an opportunity to make whatever this is work out. But you're going to have to be brave and get out from underneath that tree and risk being vulnerable in that energy to be able to, accept the prize. And so this energy of disappointment, I feel it comes from this missing generational wealth in some ways. There's something going on. There's some sort of sabotage here. And, quite often that kind of energy, if it's about pentacles, being disappointed in business partners, whatever, sometimes it can just be that you were in a situation where you chose to allow people in your inner circle that were not in your highest interest. And but sometimes it can also talk about a calculated, this is not like someone sort of kind of didn't like you. This is calculated effort to keep you down because they want what's yours. And so this energy here, this generational wealth, it could be definitely involved with that. And then we have you in a position here of light. This is the sun shining light on the situation that, to have this happiness and to get in this position, you have to look into what did happen to that generational wealth. And quite often this can be inheritances, or it could be like an investment, that maybe paid off more and maybe someone kind of snuck away with your portion. It's that type of energy. So to get to this, it's talking about having to, through life experience, that's how you become an Empress energy. So it's saying, if you learn from every mistake, every time something like is disappointing or whatever, get up from the tree and do something else, tweak it, do something differently. Eventually you're going to end up having so much life experience. You're in this energy and you move forward, and all of a sudden it'll be like overnight success to everybody else. They'll be like, oh wow, overnight success, but it'll be because you've been determined to just get even that little bit better every time you put yourself out there. And then we have the Hermit energy, and the Hermit is really talking about this dark night of the soul, of being in this position and realizing, hey, this is people in my inner circle, you know, collaborating to do this to me, and I have to make changes here. And it's after like going up to that, coming down from that mountain, that you take action, and you realize if you want this lifestyle that was promised to you, you're going to have to maybe move. You're going to have to change for sure something that you're doing. And sometimes, as I said, this could represent finding, you know, having someone coming into your life that is actually there for you, and being able to move forward in that way. This is talking about collaborating with people possibly like far away from where you are, and not focusing on the people that you have been, like recognizing I need to expand my horizons and deal with other people from where I'm at. And this sometimes can definitely talk about making a move. It can even talk about moving overseas or moving to a new country. It could just mean moving, you know, to a different part of the city. Whatever it is, though, it's talking about making a move. And as I said, sometimes this can talk about expanding. And saying maybe you found that special someone and you've been afraid to take the leap, and now you're saying, okay, it's time to settle down and start a family. Could be that type of energy, Gemini. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. Just so that you know, this eclipse season, in case you're leaving the reading here, this is a very emotional full moon. Like, full moons are emotional anyway. So if you've been feeling like really in an up and down curve, and it's like a roller coaster that you're on, a lot of people are feeling that right now. It's because we are on August 12th, we had a solar eclipse. And that was in the sign of Leo. And quite often that was about individuality and romance and, you know, wanting to set things straight for yourself. And then on August 28th, and that's just like, 6 days away now, or 5 or 6 days away now. So from when I'm doing this reading, the energy is like been sitting there kind of heavy, and just kind of like waiting for something to happen, or waiting for some information to come in to allow you to move forward. It's and it's on its way here. So just recognize that. And the Pisces energy, like the full moon in Pisces, is very emotional. This is the most mature of all the water signs. The energy is very, also a really, really good time to be listening to your intuition. It's very intuitive. So if you take that sensitivity that you're feeling from this full moon energy in Pisces, and you use that by following your intuition and really going inward to really feel, what is it that I want in my heart's desires? Because the Virgo energy is more analytical. It's about taking that sensitivity and using it to really push yourself forward into a stronger way. All right. Thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, and subscribes. I truly appreciate them all. And now we're going to look at clarifying this with my oracle. My oracle is Tales from the Vector. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. This is one of the paintings from it. And this is talking about transition. So this is the Death card, and a lot of people get afraid of this card, but this is just confirming that this cycle is coming to an end, that there's a transition. And this represents not just death, but rebirth, not just degeneration, but regeneration. So this is a good sign to see here, and regenerating your wealth here as well. So that's confirming that for the reading here. Now, let's see what's going on here. I have this upside down. We have the all-star energy. So the all-star is using your third eye. As I said, you might be feeling really emotional. And so if you quiet your mind and don't let your mind race and get you in loops, and just, you know, go inward like the hermit and really take some time for yourself and ask, like, what do I really want? And what is my intuition telling me? Get into your third eye energy. It's really strong for you right now. And we have the Chariot here. This is saying that on the spiritual realm, this shift is already happening. There's some sort of justice coming in for you. The Chariot is when you're on your destined path, and it's like a tank, tung, 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 running over any obstacles. You don't have to be in an energy of, like, you don't have to, there's no reins. You just, you can hop on and you just hang on, because it's going to take you to where you need to go to move into this more promising energy. This cycle is definitely coming to an end, and this is saying it's already happening on the spiritual realm, and it's spinning on the spiritual realm, and it's about to happen in the physical, or you'll start to notice it in the physical. And you're on a foolhardy journey. Awesome. So this is talking about the Fool begins his journey at the 0 point, and it is saying now you're on a new cycle. Yes, I really am happy to see this up here. So this is talking about you can anticipate a really strong future moving forward, making the changes that you figured out when you were in, you know, from the Virgo side of it, the analytical side. What steps do I need to take in the third dimensional realm to bring this energy in? And in my oracle, there's two fools: the foolhardy fool that's on his life path on the Chariot, and then there's the foolish, which are the people that have done this. So I'm just getting an energy that as your energy moves into this energy, it's almost like they're switching, and there's going to be a replacement in the energy. And we have, for the Hermit energy, this is dissemination of information. So this is talking about, like, if you've been in this position, and it has been for some time, and you just couldn't, you know, there's a lot of people collaborating to keep you in that position. This can really be talking about really starting to doubt yourself. And dissemination of information is when people speak to you in a certain way, like they compliment you to your face, but behind their back, this is what they're doing, you know. And this is also like if you say something like, oh, I had such a great idea, and I'm going to do this and this and this. Be aware that do not tell people your ideas of what you're going to do until you have a good foothold in it, because they're taking your ideas and doing their best, then a bunch of them getting together to keep you down like this so that they can get it done before you can. And so it drains your, not just your wealth, you know, in the physical plane, but your ability to, like, your energy, it's draining you. And so dissemination of information is like when there's an elephant in the room, and you know there's an elephant in the room, but nobody wants to see it, nobody wants to speak of it. And you start believing in your own press, like, oh, I guess I'm just not smart enough. I guess I'm just not all that. I guess it was a stupid idea after all. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they're implementing your idea for themselves. And there's enough of them to do it that, you know, it's not just one person trying to get everything done. There's a whole bunch of people working together with your idea to be in this energy. You are very, you know, and a lot of times, this always brings up this energy of, you know, when people are trying to motivate other people, they'll be talking about, you know, you have to believe in yourself. And sometimes the worst thing you can do is believe in the limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself about yourself. So this dissemination of information is that you have to see the elephant and call it and say, like, these people are not benefiting me, and I have to make some change in my life. And then we have the Gemini energy. So you're showing up here for yourself. And I was wondering if this was going to show up, because the truth is coming out. And what's interesting is this is strong communication. It's also creative solutions, which you get from using your logic and your intuition combined. But it's also, I feel, talking about the astrological effect of Uranus, which is a very big planet. Like, it has a huge effect on us. And it is in the sign of Gemini. It moved into the sign of Gemini about 2.5 months ago. And it's got a strong pull. And Uranus is, bottom line, in Gemini, it's the truth coming out. Uranus wants the truth to come out when it's in Gemini. And because you're so quick-witted, and you're so quick with your thoughts, and you're very adaptable, the truth is coming out in all sorts of weird ways. All you have to do is watch the news for like 5 minutes, and you're like, whoa, there's a lot of truth coming out, and about things that you never thought it would, and coming out in weird ways, weird truths in weird ways. And that's because Uranus is a pain in the butt for people who do not want the truth to come out. And so the truth is that this is what happened to your wealth. You had people that were sabotaging you, using your ideas and getting you to doubt yourself because you're like down there. And now you're like, oh, okay, now that you know what you know, I feel that this situation is changing. And I do feel that with the Chariot, it sometimes can represent some sort of law enforcement coming in. I do feel that these people have crossed the line from legal to illegal, and there could be some justice coming in, and the truth could be coming out about what happened to your money, or some sort of, something's going on here, and your intuition has been telling you this. So you see the elephant in the room now, and you're dealing with it. Now, this is significant because Uranus is going to be in the sign of Gemini for the next 7.5 to 8 years, and it has not been here since 1941 to 1949. Which was like in the when World War II was going strong, and then the end of it and the aftermath. So just be aware, there's some truths coming out. They could be difficult for you to, digest possibly, but understand that this is going to be a huge blessing for you, because it's talking about a major transition happening in your life for the better. And then we have Pride. Yeah, this card has been coming up a lot. This is people who are in an all or nothing state. And so they fall into the karmic space of pride. And they persuade other people to, hey, using dissemination of information, scrambling the information, talking in goobly goop, you deserve to have this. They don't deserve to have that. Who are they to be able to have that? And they're doing their best to talk you into this as well. And so this is all or nothing attitude. This is like, these people are determined to have this rather than you. So you have to recognize that, and also recognize that justice is coming in for you. And so some sort of weird energy is sitting with you right now. Just don't panic, stay calm. I feel that you're probably feeling the shift. And as I said, remember, the eclipse season is, it percolates very on the back burner for about 6 months. So this energy is, going to show up around February at the latest. But I feel it's already on the way in the spiritual realm, and possibly already in the physical. You might already be receiving information. Pay attention to your intuition, and just chill out a little bit, and make sure you look after yourself. All right, thank you for your time and energy, Gemini. I really, really appreciate this. This is really, really good for everybody. We all have a little bit of something in us. When I do have the cards showing up here that are zodiac related, unless it's like a card, if it's you're showing up for yourself in your own sign, in your own reading, it's a really, really positive sign. But normally I don't look at Gemini entered like the horoscope energy as a specific person. I'm more interested in the energy of what's happening astrologically that it's coming up, because it could be very empowering. And if you ever get your birth chart done, we all have a little bit of every sign in us, but this is definitely a direct confirmation for you that shift is changing for the better for you. And once again, thank you for your time, energy, and your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I appreciate them all. I'll be back with another reading for you soon, Gemini. Bye for now.